Craig, you look at the over those two legs, there's really only one team that deserved the win.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and Chelsea, you know, their away performance was excellent. They snuffed Atletico out in this game, but for a side that are top of La Liga, to perform the way they did, not just in one game because it can happen, but over 180 minutes I thought was abysmally poor. They lacked ambition certainly in the first game. They tried a little bit in this, but not much, and. Actually, Chelsea have had way more tougher games against, you know, mediocre teams in the Premier League this season. So, you know, we all know what the problems Chelsea have had this season with the change of manager and where they've been in the league. And here we have a side that are probably going to win La Liga, not definite, but probably. And really, they didn't give Chelsea many problems over the two legs. I mean, one of the things Tuchel has done well since he's come in, his team have defensively been excellent, but I would have imagined this Atletico team would have asked a load more questions over the 180 minutes.
Jurgen, watching this game as it developed, you question whether or not you knew that Atleti had to get something from it. It was almost as if they were sitting on the draw, kind of happy that it was just 1-0. There was no drive, no ambition from a team, as Craig said, it's top of La Liga.
Yeah, overall it's a bit disappointing, but I think, you know, the game was very interesting to watch. I mean, as Craig said, rightfully so. I mean, Chelsea defensively looked very, very, very organized. You know, they were very compact tactically. They kept everything very small. They made it very difficult for Atletico to play the ball through. So they never really created chances. I think João Felix, it took 80 minutes until he had his first shot at goal. I mean, a little bit of a storyline certainly was the two questionable situation for penalties in the first half before Chelsea scored then the first goal. You can argue about those two incidents. Definitely you have a case there, especially when he gives then a red card at the end of the day to Savage there for an elbow check. There was a very soft incident there. He gives a red. So if you give there a red card, then you could actually give the two penalties as well. But overall, I think an excellent performance by Chelsea. Two beautiful goals. I mean, two counter breaks executed tremendously well. So they deserve to go through. Very interesting game. But we would have hoped that Atletico gives it a little bit more.
We'll talk about those controversial calls a little later on. But Frank, do you want to kill Atleti or praise Chelsea?
What? If I want to play Chelsea? I want to play Chelsea. I want to talk about Chelsea and only Chelsea. Really, what they did. And of course, we can talk about the penalty and it would have changed the game, certainly, because maybe Azpilicueta would have been also red carded. It's an option, it's a possibility. But I want to keep what I saw during the game. And then for the first time this season, I'm 99% happy of what I saw from Chelsea, where defensively, technically, tactically, we had everything in front of us, except maybe sometimes the finishing, not that clinical enough, you know, for the specialists. But at the end of the day, when I see what Kovacic and Kante were able to do in the middle of the park, it's absolutely exceptional what they did. And for the first time, and we have to mention it, Ziyech had a game. He had a real good game. The game we were expecting from him since he signed for the Blues. And he did today and gave his best for his new team. And of course, defensively, it was perfect. Appalling performance from the Cochoneros. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, I can't believe that team is first of the league. Something's wrong. Two legs. As Craig said, you know, maybe the first leg can be possible, but 2 games not possible.
Dan, Frank's clearly trying to mend the wounds with the Chelsea fans here, isn't he?
I know. You know, so mean, so unimpressed with Tuchel.
He is. He's like, normally he's bored by one of Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel performances. Now he's ecstatic now tonight.
You cannot say that, Craig. Craig, you cannot say that. You've been telling me that I tried to overtake you to be in the haters, you know, former player at the, you know, on television from Chelsea. But you know, really, for the first time, I'm happy.
You've got a way to go.
I saw a team that I wanted to see. What?
You've got a way to go before they hate you more than me. Trust me.
Yeah. Pick a number,
I know that.
Stevie, you've also been. very critical of Tuchel since he's come in, not particularly impressed with his style, hadn't seen too many changes from Lampard. This has been his best achievement so far.
Well, hold on a second. Let me just say that I've been critical about how they've performed in the final third. Nothing else. Everything else is... You can't fault what they've done defensively. You can't fault what they're doing in the middle of the park. Previously, you could fault what they've done going forward, but to win this game the way they did, comfortably, scoring 2 goals, good movement, good passes, good finishing, absolutely 100%. You can't fault Thomas Tuchel and his team today, but you can ask questions of Atletico Madrid. I mean, this Chelsea team probably won't need to wash the strips that they had on today, because half of them didn't get a sweat on. I mean, where is this? Well, a team's mirrored by its coach. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know when we last used that, but we should never use it again, because Simeone's team doesn't mirror him anymore. This was toothless, there was no fight, it lacked spirit, it lacked everything. So I can't think of one good thing to say about Atletico Madrid, but I'll tell you what, this is not a Diego Simeone team.
No.
Dan,
go on.
I was going to say, look, Chelsea haven't been the most exciting since Tuchel came in. There's no doubt about that. They've had lots of possession, kept lots of clean sheets. Most of the games have been tight. And at times it has been a little frustrating to watch in terms of, the amount of passing they've had. And as Stevie said, then it's kind of all fell flat. Not all the time, but a lot of the times in the final third. But that's not Tuchel's remit short term. His remit when he came in here was replacing Frank Lampard, was to get Chelsea in the top 4. Whatever way he could. Just get results. And by the way, that's still enough. It's not a guaranteed. But get this team into the top 4 for next season, into the Champions League. Then he has a transfer window. Then he can go in whatever direction he thinks is best. Make a run in the Champions League. Do what you can. They're not clearly not expected to go all the way here. Not saying they won't, but they're not expected to. But in terms of the way they're playing, that's kind of... I mean, they're playing okay, but it's kind of secondary at the moment, whether they entertain or they're flamboyant or it's possession-based or whatever. He's just trying to get the results until the summer that his owner, Abramovich, expects, until he can get that transfer window and try to reshape this team under him. And I think at the moment he's doing that particularly well.
Jurgen, I just want to go
Dan,
back.
if I can finish that, I don't want everybody to get carried away, with all those performances and the fact that they didn't lose for 14 games, where we had the same discussion about Frank Lampard before he lost December 26 against Arsenal, and he got worse. But at the end of the day, we were saying beginning of December, Chelsea can maybe win the league, can go far, they are fantastic. So, we are going through a pandemic, and it's really the roller coaster right now. So what we say now about Chelsea, it's perfect. I don't know what's going to happen within a month, if they lose one game. So we have to be cautious. Everything goes well, but we have to be cautious because it can happen to every team, and it happened to any teams.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.